Is really happening now because I'm heading to America. It is still incredibly strange to even say it out loud, but the heavy suitcase is already in the trunk. My passport is tucked safely in my pocket, so there is absolutely no turning back for me now. Hi everyone, I am Kris, and this is the brand new series of Kris on the road. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do a USA road trip that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. We're actually going all the way to New York. We'll spend a few days in New York City, then head to Washington, where we'll pick up the car, and then it's off to the mountains. After that, we'll head south and go all the way to Key West, then to Miami, and after Miami, we'll head back to New York. I'll be documenting and recording this whole journey. So come along with me. All right, the car is parked. Heading to the terminal.
And you know, walking towards List Ferenc, something struck me. Being an embedded test system engineer, I see a place like this through a slightly different lens. To most travelers, it's just a series of hurdles to clear. Check-in, security, the gate, and departure.
And of course, from an engineer's perspective, an airport is an incredibly complex and gigantic structure.
Just think about it. Tens of thousands of passengers, luggage, jet fuel, ground handling, air traffic control, security, and all of it has to run almost flawlessly with clockwork precision. Plus, it's a properly old machine, at least in its foundations. Budapest International Airport opened back in 1950. There's actually a brilliant detail at the old Terminal 1 that I bet 99% of people never notice. The building was originally designed to literally look like an aeroplane from above.
Well, I just love this Easter egg because it still contains that old world approach, when they didn't just want to give a building character, but also function, or rather both character and function.
Nowadays, it's all about relentless optimization. It's not a case of, right then, let's take off whichever way we fancy. Nighttime operations, preferred runway usage, and a whole host of noise abatement procedures are all working together to minimize the impact on local residents. There's a rigid framework of rules behind every single movement. Personally, that's the duality I love about it. From the outside, it's all about travel and the experience. From the inside, it's an incredibly sophisticated system. You just walk through it without ever noticing the thousands of engineering decisions, trade-offs, and processes running in the background. But that's the point, isn't it? Because good engineering usually isn't loud, it just works. You know, I actually have a bit of a thing for airports. There's this strange, inexplicable atmosphere about the whole place. Yes, it's a bit sterile, a bit impersonal, but that's exactly why it's so brilliant. It's a proper liminal space. Physically, you're no longer at home, but you haven't quite reached your destination either. You're just existing somewhere in between, a sort of no man's land. And honestly, I think this in-between state is one of the best parts of the whole journey.
I really had to rush and hurry things up quite a bit.
And I have already finished changing into my soft and cozy pajamas. So I really think it'll be a whole lot more comfortable and relaxing to sleep on the plane.
And this is what we are flying today, an Airbus A330-300, absolutely perfect for the long haul. Oh. Well, I think this isn't bad. Well, I think this isn't bad. Okay, now this thing right here is actually quite impressive and pretty good too. This is pretty good too. Wow. Okay.
So here we are, the first day in New York. Is the first day in New York? Well, I didn't really manage to get any rest yesterday. And so for that very specific reason, I am currently combining the 0th part together with the first part. This way the whole video will be significantly more straightforward and efficient to edit during post-production. And also I will most likely be able to do all the things I want to do with a much greater sense of calm and focus. So come with me. Coffee cups and worn out. So the thing is, it's not warm at all. Not at all. But that's okay because they said it could be 18 degrees today, so I think that'll be just fine. So let's get started. Weather changes, so do we. I feel a change coming over me. Close my eyes, you are all I see. I'm gonna get through Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday too. Thursday becomes a Friday, and I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna get through Monday. I see the weekends on the rise. Thursday becomes a Friday, and everything aligns. I'm gonna get through Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday too. Thursday becomes a Friday, and I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna get through Monday. I see the weekends on the rise. Thursday becomes a Friday, and everything aligns. I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be with you.
Well then, let's have some breakfast. Because now, we've got ourselves a really nice fresh little Zabar's bagel. And a little coffee. Well, it wasn't cheap. It was about $22 for the two of them together, so it's anything but cheap. But that's okay. But you know, when people think of New York, they usually imagine everyone rushing around, everyone's running and racing. But actually, it's not really like that. It's really not like that at all. Just take a look at this stretch along the Hudson, where such peaceful nature awaits those who come to visit. The city noise still carries over here quite a bit, so you can hear what's happening on the roads pretty clearly, but it's still very peaceful and very quiet. It's just so good to be here. I really love it. And since we're already here, let's go ahead and see how the bagel is. This will be interesting until the local seagulls eventually realize that they want some too, just like they usually do when they notice food nearby. Of this excellent food. But honestly, I don't really know if I'm actually eating this wrong, but I think it would probably be a good idea to hold it with the bag, because like this way, because, well, I think it's not bad. It has onion tomato in it. I think it'll be good. We'll taste it in a second. We'll try not to give any to the local birds. That's delicious. Do you know what's in it? Salmon. I almost forgot. Very good. Wow, so good. Honestly, I really think this was definitely one of my very best spent $22, without a doubt. True, the same can't be said about the coffee, that it's very good, because it's a bit like... Okay, compared to European coffee, to be honest, it's actually very weak, or at least I feel it's very weak. It's like if a brewed coffee had been brewed 3 more times and then poured out. But I understand that this is common here. So, but actually there's not too much wrong with this either. I just don't feel any kind of caffeine kick, which would actually be nice right now, especially since the jet lag is still working a bit, but well, we'll see. So I really love this part of traveling when there's no set schedule and it's not all planned out exactly where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing. But still, for a trip like this, you definitely need to do some planning. Obviously, the planning side of things is working and it's all set, but I've been really careful to make sure that the fact that I'm vlogging doesn't take away any of the value from what I'm personally experiencing here, because that's really important. I've never vlogged before in my life. This is the very first time that I've decided I'm going to vlog, and I really hope that I'm not going to regret it. I'm not entirely sure if I have all the right qualities that a typical vlogger usually has. But let's just leave that for now. I'm going to try to make the absolute best of it that I possibly can. Oh, look at that. There's a big... Oh, is that a container ship? Or what is it? I wonder what kind of ship that is. I suspect it's some kind of transport ship. If anyone can tell me in the comments, I'd really appreciate it.
I gave you a room, a place for the night. I'm so sorry to see you enter the fight. You said as a child you always took off. Now it's sad just to see.
First impression, New York is a great place. The people here are actually very nice, and they are really quite accommodating in the sense that if you happen to ask them for something, they are always willing to help. So it's really, really good. So that's the essence of it all. So come along with me.
Now it's sad just to see what's become of us. You mumbled something to me. Why did I know all the words? Just standing there looking at me. Now I know that it hurts. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong. You planted a seed, I don't think you'll grow. I think I'll die when you have to go. Just lost all strength in me. I gave it to you. Just standing there looking at me. Now I know that it hurts. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong.
So next, we're going up to the top of the One World Trade Center. Come with me.
Maybe I see you again someday. Maybe you will be sane someday. Maybe I dream of a friend someday. Maybe I see you again someday. Down in
47 seconds. That's all it takes for the Skypod lift to whisk you up to the 102nd floor. As you climb, 500 years of New York's history unfolds right before your eyes on the walls. You literally watch the world's most iconic concrete jungle rise from the wilderness and mud huts.
Welcome to One World Observatory, where your observatory visit will begin. To the city beneath us, as you prepare to see forever.
Well, yes, a significant number of people have often said that New York is really truly just a giant overused cliche, but at the same time, it is also just absolutely beautiful in its own way. And here I am at the top of the One World Trade Center, and the view is absolutely breathtaking. It's simply impossible to put into words. The building does sway a little bit, but it's minimal. I don't know how it behaves in strong winds, but I think it's perfectly fine. Another thing, here are a few facts about the World Trade Center. It's 1,776 feet tall, which represents the year of American independence. So America became independent in 1776, and that's why the One World Trade Center was built to that height, which is 542 meters when converted to the metric system. I decided to purchase a ticket that comes fully equipped with priority access, and you also get an additional handheld digital tablet where you can conveniently research and identify exactly what each building is. It works based on the cardinal directions. As you slowly turn the device around, it shows you all of the famous sites in your view.
You mumbled something to me. Why did I know all the words? Just standing there looking at me. Now I know that it hurts. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong. You planted a seed, I don't think you'll grow. I think I'll die when you have to go. Just lost all strength in me. I gave it to you. Just standing there looking at me. Now I know that it hurts. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong. Maybe I see you again someday. Maybe you will be sane someday. Maybe I dream of a friend someday. Maybe I see you again someday. Down in limbo, where we belong. Down in limbo, where we belong. You're down in limbo, where you belong. We're down in limbo, where we belong.
This is where the Twin Towers once stood. Today, in their place, lie two vast reflecting pools, the largest man-made waterfalls in North America. Water cascades 30 feet down black granite, then vanishes into a deep inner void whose bottom is never seen. It never feels. It never will. This void is what absence looks like. 16 massive pumps move 52,000 gallons of water every minute, and the sound they create, steady, relentless, somehow swallows the noise of the city hall. You stand in the very heart of Manhattan, and yet there is quiet. Etched into the bronze parapets are 2,983 names. Their order is no accident. At the request of the families, friends, loved ones and colleagues, they rest side by side. And if you notice a single white rose placed among the letters, it marks a birthday. Each morning, before the memorial opens, the staff returns to place them, one by one. Just a short walk, and suddenly we're in a completely different world. Wall Street, the financial nerve center of the world. Ever wondered how it got its name? Back in the 1600s, Dutch settlers built a massive wooden wall right here to defend their colony. Wall Street, a street named after a wall. That's the essence of it. And right in front of me stands the New York Stock Exchange, opened in 1903. As a regular person, you don't get inside. Security here is on another level. But even out here, standing on the pavement, you can feel the weight of this place pressing down on you. It's almost impossible to grasp that right here, behind those columns, the direction of the global economy is decided every single day. The Charging Bull, or as it's often called, the Bull. And yeah, as you can see, getting a moment alone with it, not happening. But here's something 99% of those selfie-taking tourists have no idea about. This statue was originally a full-on illegal guerrilla stunt. On Christmas in 1989, a sculptor named Arturo Di Modica had an idea. He grabbed a crane truck, rolled in under cover of night, and simply dropped the sculpture right in front of the stock exchange, under the Christmas tree. No permits, no approval, nothing. Now think about the logistics for a second. This thing weighs 3,200 kilos, over 3 tons of solid bronze. He poured $360,000 of his own money into it, just to give the city a symbol of strength after the market crash. The police, of course, showed up the next morning and immediately removed it, confiscated the whole thing. But New Yorkers loved it so much, the city eventually had no choice but to bring it back. If you ask me, this is probably the most successful illegal parking job in history. Now for a real hidden gem. A building that 99% of tourists walk past without a second glance. Right in front of me is the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel Ventilation Building. What does it do? It keeps people from suffocating. This building completely replaces the air every 90 seconds inside North America's longest continuous underwater vehicular tunnel, stretching 2.8 kilometers. When you're driving down there, you don't even notice, but these fans are blasting air at near hurricane force speeds, pushing oxygen straight at you. 2 crazy facts. The walls are covered with so many ceramic tiles, you could build 4,500 full bathrooms out of them. And in 2012, when Hurricane Sandy hit, 86 million gallons of water flooded the entire tunnel. Salt water, all the way up to the ceiling. And the engineers? They pumped it out and reopened it in 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. But let's put the engineering aside for a moment. Remember Men in Black? Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, black suits? That secret MIB headquarters, the alien immigration office? In reality, it's this building. So in everyday life, it ventilates a tunnel. On the big screen, it processes extraterrestrials. Depends which reality you're living in. Everyone knows it from photos and movies, but seeing it in person, that's something else entirely. The Statue of Liberty. It is 93 meters tall, a gift from the French people in 1886, shipped across the ocean in 350 separate pieces. And here's a brilliant engineering detail. Beneath the outer copper skin lies an internal support structure designed by Gustave Eiffel. Yes, the same Eiffel who would go on to build the tower in Paris just a few years later. The statue was originally copper in color, but over the decades it oxidized into this iconic green. Inside, it's a massive steel framework, engineered to flex in the strongest winds so the structure bends rather than breaks. The wind can push it, but it will never bring it down. And all of that was calculated in 1886. No laptops, no software, just raw engineering brilliance. But there's something more. For us Hungarians, this statue carries a much deeper meaning. Think about it. How many people arrived here after the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, crossing the ocean into the unknown? And this woman, holding her torch, was the very first thing they saw of America. Among them, a 12-year-old Hungarian boy. His name was Stephen F. Udvarházy. Why am I telling you this now? Because on this journey, you're going to hear that name again. And when you do, it's going to matter. Nothing quite prepares you for this. It's not just that it's beautiful, it's because it's so incredibly bright. The lights, the sounds, the screens, the crowds, the sheer movement, everything hitting you at once. And that's exactly why it works. It's moments like these that make the whole journey feel real. I know, plenty of people say Times Square is a bit much, too touristy, too loud. And they're probably right, but for your first time, it's a must-see. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Okay, so this was the first day in New York and the arrival day edited together. So from now on, I'll try to upload episodes daily, although I can't promise that'll actually happen. But anyway, that was Times Square. That was the first day, so see you in the next upload. Bye.